Welcome to the Jeff Fitzgerald Coaches Show, brought to you by Barry Collins and CFM Enterprises. I'm Mike Downhour. With me is head football coach Jeff Fitzgerald. Coach, what a game last week. You went into undefeated Bastrop. They were 4-0 going in. Tough road game. Second road game in a row. And a little curious if your Lions could get up for it 2 times in a row like that on the road. Resoundingly. You guys did a great job.
You know, our guys knew we were going into a hostile environment, and we talked about the tradition of the rivalry that we've had with Bastrop in the past, and you know, we hadn't played them since 2006, and then we played them on and off in some jamborees and scrimmages, and we just talked about why it was such a heated rivalry from dating back to that 05-06 time in district. And
well, with Des Layton in the booth with me, I can tell you right now as a player, he still remembers.
There's a lot of people that still remember. We remember, they remember, and so you know, we try to teach our kids that, and so that they would understand and know. And I think a lot of times when you have that understanding, then it gives you a little bit more to play for. And our guys definitely stepped up to the occasion. No
offense or no taking anything away from the offense, but against Neville you had 3 turnovers. Against Union Parish your defense forced 5. Last week 4 turnovers. Man, that is just strong for a defense.
You know it is, and we're taking care of the ball well offensively too. And we're definitely on the plus side of the turnover margin, and that's really made the difference in these games, that when they're close and we're able to come up with those turnovers and eliminate opportunities for the opponent offense, and we're taking care of the ball special teams for the most part. We gave up a kick return, but other than that, we've been doing an excellent job on our special teams as well, of putting those 3 phases of the game together.
Carmichael Glass was able to take that ball, pick 6, take it into the end zone. I know some other folks said it was Carl Glass, but it was not. And I know you want to talk about this young man.
Yeah, it's Carmichael, and he is a great young man. That's Carl's brother, younger brother. And so
just became a starter recently.
He did. He became a starter in the Union game. Actually, he played the last half of the Neville game and then stepped up in the Union game as a starter. And it's funny because between Carl and Carmichael, in this game, they had 33 tackles, a pick 6, a cause fumble, and a fumble recovery.
That's huge.
They're very productive young men, and but you know, Carl was an Aaron's ace this week. He had 22 and a cause fumble, 22 tackles, a cause fumble, and then a fumble recovery. And then also an Aaron's ace this week was Xavier Lewis, who offensively had 190 yards rushing with 3 touchdowns, which was huge. It's great to see those guys step up as seniors, and not only are they great young men, they're great players, and they've become great leaders on this team. And then coming off of the week before, Jalen Kincaid had been Beast of the Week. So, man, I'm really excited about the progress that these young men have made. And, you know, we look back, and people didn't think that we'd win 1 game out of 5 in the, you know, in this non-district part of the schedule, and these guys have found a way, and they've continued to claw and scratch, and very excited to see them get the recognition and that they've earned. You know, not that they deserve, but they've earned it, and very, very proud of these young men.
They have done an outstanding job. Let's take a look at some of the highlights.
I put together, you know, they drive the ball down the field right off the bat.
I mean, first drive all the way down.
All the way down, and execute extremely well, and they score. And we knew coming into it there was going to be a surge, and man, they are explosive offensively. I'm not so sure how many times we stopped them as much as they stopped themselves, but then we come back and we answer and drive the ball down on the film, or drive down the field against them, and then if I can get this to play, we drive the ball down the field against them, and this is Xavier going in for
untouched
for one of his scores, untouched. Just a little power play right there, and takes it off tackle, and then there's nobody there. Big score for us. And then this is a little bit longer touchdown run. You can see, man, he gets great blocking on the edge right here by the receivers, and then he makes a great run out of it.
Weaving in and out.
Weaving in and out, and they knocked the ball, he'd already crossed the end zone, but they knocked the ball out at the last second. And at that point,
But we knew somebody scored. We just didn't know which one. I mean, West Star recovered it, so.
exactly. And then we come up here, the very next series, they go to throw a screen, and you can see we sniff out the screen. This is Carmichael coming in, and you see him right here, and he puts the brakes on, realizes it's a screen, puts the brakes on, the quarterback throws it up, and then we blocked the quarterback very well too. That was exciting to see, and then for him to go into the score. And I don't know who was happier, him or his brother. Both of them excited. You can see, obviously everybody on the sideline excited as well. Probably two of the biggest points in the game were the fourth down conversions that we got.
And one of them, not just a conversion, just go ahead and take it in for the touchdown.
It was, and the first one, we look at it and we work one thing. We've got one formation and one play that we work on fourth down. We work it every day. It's in conjunction with our punt team. Our guys know exactly what to do, where to do it. It was kind of that field position that was like, at this point in the game, we're playing pretty good defense. If we get it, we get it. If we don't, we don't. But it's great just to see, to look at it. Man, we're sitting here, they're 3 over 3. They've got a defensive end on the edge. We're going to run an outside zone play to the boundary, and it'll be one-on-one with the safety and the running back. And, we're sitting there and debating on whether to call it. We probably should have went ahead and called it sooner, but they started kind of shifting that way. And
you can see them getting antsy on the sideline there.
Man, I could just see our guys, the look in their eye.
Well, they should have had him.
They should have, but if you'll notice, watch him he just keeps churning his feet. Look, his feet never stop. And he gets it by about 3 yards. But you see, look at the blocking of the receivers on the edge. And there's that one-on-one attack I was telling you with the safety. Man, he just wanted it. He just wanted it. And then we come back that same series. Zach makes a great throw to DJ, another great throw and catch. They've kind of got that fade connection.
I'm about to say it drops right over the defenders.
They've got a great relationship. And then, then later in the game, man, it's fourth quarter, fourth down. They have a guy, the previous play on the third down play, that his helmet comes off. So he runs off on the sideline, puts his helmet on, and runs back on the field. Well, they get caught with 12 on the field, illegal participation, 5-yard penalty. It goes from what we were going to do was a little pooch kick with Zach, and just a little quick kick with the quarterback. They didn't have anybody back, penalty, play defense, and go with it. And it goes from 4th and 8 to 4th and 3, and it's like,
we're going to
let's
do this.
go.
Yeah.
Let's go. And everybody was, the players wanted it, the coaches wanted it. We knew, man, we get this first down here, keep the ball, this game is definitely sealed. And we don't, you watch, we run basically the same play, different formation, and this one definitely sealed, was able to seal it. That was a huge, huge fourth down conversion. They get the ball back, come down the field, and this is Jalen Kincaid's interception that he makes. He makes a great play on the ball. You'll see this is a cover 3, and he's splitting the difference between the number 1 and number 2 receiver right here. And number 1 and number 2, he's leaning on number 2 like we teach him, and then he's got to come back to the ball. Watch him come back to the ball, high point it. I mean, he did it exactly like we coach him to do.
For a sophomore, and that is textbook.
It is. And then obviously the last interception of the game, they're in desperation. It's a 2-score game at this point, and we actually had a guy, Queen, had gone out with an injury, and then So we bring in Marcel Henderson at the bandit position, and then we move Cale Wheeler from bandit to free safety. He's played it before. And
Played
you
it
see,
well there.
man, he makes a great play on the ball. We knew number 6 was their go-to guy in those situations up the seam, and and he makes a great play. But I want you to watch something at the end of this play. We're going to watch number 22. Again, he does exactly what he's coached to do as well. Collision, forcing him. We got a guy over the top, but now watch number 22, Marcel Henderson. Him and Jamie Ginn are going to celebrate together, and this is hilarious. I mean, if you both, and then they both go down.
Knocked them both.
They knocked them both down. So it's fun to see our guys celebrate, and then they pop right back up, love on one another. Man, it was incredible, and it was great to see those guys be able to have fun, celebrate a big win for the Washita program.
It was a big W, and it wraps up your regular season. We'll take a look at district coming up. We'll do that on the other side of the Coaches Show. You're tuned in to the Jeff Fitzgerald Pregame Coaches Show, brought to you by Chick-fil-A. Welcome back to the Jeff Fitzgerald Coaches Show, brought to you by Batteries and Bulbs. Coach, you are going up against your third undefeated team this year, 5-0 this time, West Washita. Coach Matt Middleton has turned that school around. What are the Chiefs coming in like 5-0? What do you think they're feeling coming into this new district?
Man, they're very confident right now. They're playing with some great confidence. They play physical, ground attack football, and then defensively they're very physical as well, because that's what they see every day. And running the football and stopping the run takes a tremendous attitude. It's just imposing your will upon your opponent, and so they're used to seeing it every day. And these guys play hard-nosed, tough, physical football.
Last time you guys played was 2006. In recent memory, Washita has not lost to West Washita. And does that add a little bit more to the incentive for them to beat you on your home turf for homecoming?
Obviously being homecoming, they're going to be a little bit upset. And I told Coach Milton, he and I have been friends for a long time, and I told him, I said, man, look, you're homecoming.
The administration did that, not me.
You're homecoming because of the week that the game is.
Right.
It wouldn't matter. I mean, and I told our guys that. I said, we don't pick and choose who we play for homecoming. I'm like, the schedule is set, and the homecoming date's always the same, 1 or 2 weeks every year. And, if you look back, we've played Pineville 5-0 on homecoming, and it's been a war. Mm-hmm. We've played Scotlandville for homecoming. We've played Plaquemine for homecoming. I mean, it's never easy. We've played Ash for homecoming, and have been overtime games, and and it's just one of those deals where it just happens to be the week of the year. And he laughed, and he said, well, we won't use that at all
No, of course not. Right.
For any motivation. But they are a very good football team, and Coach Milton's done a tremendous job with those guys. And it's like I told our guys, I said, look, they're playing the same opponents they always play. They're usually about 3-2. Mm-hmm. They found a way to be 5-0, so they're playing with some confidence, and they're playing physical football.
It's been 13 years since the Washita Lion fans have really gotten a look at West Washita. Tell us what to expect there. I know things have changed with Coach Middleton. Offense, defense, what are we looking for tonight?
They are large. They are large.
We've seen plenty of that.
I'm telling you, man, this is,
Union
from
and Bastrop and
these guys, they're no different. They are a big football team. But they're going to line up very similar as we do. They run inside zone, outside zone, pound the football. Now, we did see on film that they have lined up in the I and run the veer just like Union did. Mm-hmm. Don't know if that'll be the case tonight. They've only done it a couple of times.
If it's in there, they're going to do it against you.
There's a chance of it, for sure. I would expect we're probably going to see the tall side of them and the veer. But they may stick to their game plan of running inside zone and outside zone. And defensively, man, they're a 4-3 cover 4, and they're sound. They'll blitz the backers from time to time, but they're very simple in what they do. And usually when people, like I've said 1,000 times before, usually when people are simple, they're pretty good at what they do.
What about their special teams? Do they kick? Are they able to put it into the end zone? Do they have Bastrop not having a kicker last week made them go for 2 every time? What do we expect?
Yeah, they do have a good kicker. He's good on extra points. He doesn't kick it in the end zone. He's very similar to what we're working with. He's going to get it down around that 10-yard line. they'll sky kick, they'll go for onsides every now and then. But we've noticed that when they get inside the 20-yard line or on in, they're going to walk away with points. They've kicked some field goals this year, and so they've got a good, solid kicking game.
What about injuries for your team? You've played some every game until this past Friday, even this past Friday. Big heat games. It was a very hot year so far. Tonight's going to be different, but how'd you come out so far?
You know, we thought last week was going to be we thought it was going to be a little cool snap, maybe a little bit of cool, and all of a sudden we show up and man, the humidity set in. It was thick, and so you know, we're still struggling a little bit late in the game with a few cramps, which is going to happen. As hard as we're playing right now, that's expected to happen. And we're in good shape, we're in good condition, our guys are staying hydrated, taking care of their bodies. But when you learn how to play as hard as these guys are playing right now, then those things are going to happen. But as far as injuries, we're fairly healthy. Just typical bumps and bruises for mid-season, in which it really feels like it's longer than mid-season as long as we've been playing. But fairly healthy football team right now.
Last question, how do you transition? How are you telling the players to transition between regular season and what really, really matters now, district? How do you draw that dividing line?
You know, we've talked about preseason being the first quarter, your second quarter being your non-district, your district play being your third quarter, and then obviously your playoffs are the fourth quarter. And so we've looked at that. And then also we've talked about, you know, any chance, the last time that Ouachita won a district championship was 1994. And so any chance or hope at that district title comes through West Ouachita. And so we're still going to take it one game at a time. We actually are taking it one snap at a time and talking about continuing to trust the climb, continuing to fight the good fight, and keep the faith in knowing that the effort and the work that we put in is going to pay off down the road.
Good luck in tonight's game, Coach.
Thank you.
You've been tuned into the Jeff Fitzgerald Coaches Show, brought to you by 3B Outdoors.